Hi guys, in today's review we'll be looking at a Hornby brake van, and this Hornby brake van is a LMS one which makes it error free, and I got this from a sale in HATTONS before they shut down, and I believe this is a Scania brake van. The code you need for this is R60121. It's a 20-ton LMS brake van. The number of the brake van, if you're interested, is 731091. And if I've got my facts correct, this came out around 2021, 2022, 2023. That's when Hornby released it, and it's in a pristine condition. I have the old tooled one back from the 80s or 90s or even the 70s, which looks fantastic. It's old, but I thought I'd get this one. So it was on a sale, and at the end I'll tell you the price that they are currently going for at the time of recording. So let's get into this review and see what it's all about, shall we? On this LMS brake fan, we do get a bag of details and a piece of paper for instructions. Let's start with the bag of details. So you should get one left hand high vac pipe, one right hand high vac pipe, and two low vac pipes. They're not coloured, but I do seem to be missing one of the low vac pipes in my bag. It's not a biggie for me because I don't add them personally, but anyone who does, there's a problem. And the piece of paper you get tells you what you should have and where they go. If you want to add both the high and the low vac pipes, you have to remove the NEM coupler. But at least Hornby have gone to the trouble of adding both of the vac pipes instead. On the older tool ones, you didn't get any of that. As we now move on to the front or the back of the brake van, depending on your preference. The brake van does have the couplers already applied. I think they are NEM pocket ones. This has been retooled from Hornby's previous one that had a massive decoupler. We have the buffer beam and buffer shanks in a brown, on this version anyway. The buffers themselves, they are metal but not sprung. These are a few rivets around on the buffer beam as well. And we have a separately applied hook in the centre. Moving on up, we have the veranda front in a brown, like a wood effect brown I'm guessing. And it does have two lamp irons by the looks of it, and I believe they are moulded on. The veranda themselves and supports are plastic. There's no rivets or anything on it as far as I can see from here. But inside the veranda you do get glazing, you also get a wood floor, and you get a door with a handle. That's about it. And then we come to the roof at the top. As we now move on to the side of this guards van, before I get into what it has and what it doesn't have, here's a quick shot of the old tooled 20-ton LMS brake van that Hornby did for many years. And as you can see, it's night and day. This one is a lot better. The old tooled one is a toy, basically, and it was acceptable back in the day. So this is in a wood brown. I want to say that they were made out of wood, I believe. So this is a wood brown livery. This is, I think, a Scania 20-ton LMS brake van. It has separately applied handrails, and the knobs for the handrails in the right places. We have handrails up the side of the verandas, again in the correct places. We have the correct size square windows. No glazing in there, but they are correct. The ducket itself is separately applied and does have glazing in it as well. There's no LMS on the side here at all. It's just brown, like I said. We do have some riveting, so there must be some supports on the inside. We do have some riveting on the woods, or nails on the woods, if you look closely enough in the correct light. The number for this brake van, 731091. And it's a 20-ton, and it does say LMS, but very small on the above the number. The verandas themselves do have a wood flooring. You know it's plastic, but it's a wood flooring. There's some glazing in there for the door and windows inside the verandas. And the door does have a handle, like I said. I'll get on what it has inside in a minute. The chassis themselves, I think, are metal. They have hundreds of rivets everywhere you look. So on the right hand side, as you look at it on the chassis now, it does have a tiny plaque that says P5-something something, and then below that L-5, I think, something something. It is readable, but some of the lettering is a little bit blurry, but it's there anyway. And then just between the LMS and number and the ducket on the chassis, we have a plaque, which basically is an LMS plaque with the number of the brake van. Again, the chassis is in brown. We have some steps going up the side. We also have a footboard, which is hard plastic, which does the job. It's not metal, but it does the job. The wheels themselves are spoked. Metal spoked wheels. We have axles and springs, crisply applied. We also can see some gubbins for underneath the brake van as well. As we now do an aerial view on top of this Scania brake van, again, like the old tool one, The old tooled one is not to scale or size. It's a little bit shorter, and I think some of the rain ducats are in the wrong place. But back then it was a toy, like I said. But on this one, you have the rain ducats at all four corners instead of an oval. You also have a stovepipe in the centre. Looking through the glass, inside there is a pipe going up. There's also a wheel in there as well. Not sure what else. I don't know how to get it off to have a look inside, but that's what I can see through the wheel, and I can't get any good pictures. Failing that, the top of the roof is in a dark grey. And finally, as we do an underneath look now at this Stanley brake van, like I said before, we do have these plastic footboards, and they are quite sturdy to do the job. We also have them pocket couplers that have a tail, so they swing back to the centre. So I've Hornby do a few of them rolling stock, and they work for me. I've got quite a few. We have pinpointed wheels. Again, like I said, they are discs, but they are metal. We also have the brake shoes and brakes line up with the wheel itself, which is always good to look at, just small details. I can't find any sanding pipes or anything like that. There's the Hornby sign, there's the year made in China mark as well, and there's, in the centre there's two either side, black boxes, long black boxes. I'm not sure if they were for electrical stuff or what, because I'm not too sure. It's on the old model as well. If anyone knows, please let me know, because I'm unsure and I'd like to get it correct so people don't moan. But I think they were for electrical boxes or possibly weights. I think Hornby have used it for weights anyway. But overall, it's quite a detailed, basic underframe of the Stanley brake van. So next up will be the usual coupling test that I do with wagons now. The wagon I'm using for the coupling test is a LMS 3-plank mainline wagon. Looks like it's coupled, let's find out. Yeah, it has, no issues there at all. Enjoy the running session. So yeah guys, that's the end of the review and the running session. Before I give my opinion and the price, I'll tell you what was pulling this freight train or coal train, which was the new tooled Hornby Stania Black 5 or 5MT. And they pulled it quite easy with ease, no issues there at all. It's a good model. So like I said at the start, I got mine from HATTONS before they shut down. They had a sale in December, end of November, with a few bits that were being discounted. And I got this and a few other rolling stock. I think I paid around £14, £13 for this. The website's down and it just says sold out, so I can't screenshot it. But if you get this from the manufacturer themselves, you're talking £25. It could be cheaper on other liveries, but for this one it's £25. From a model shop, you're talking a little less than that depending on the model shop. I've seen it as cheap as £8, but they were pre-owned of this same model. And I've seen it as high as £30, I think from Gauge Masters at £30. Again, I think £13 isn't a bad price. £25 is a fantastic price compared to, for comparison, the Bachmann Dancehall Brake Van. It's a 25 tonner, and currently on the Bachmann website it is at £49 and 99 pence, so near enough £50. And from a retailer looking around, you're talking around the £40 mark. Again, I don't know why it's so high when Hornby and Rapido and others have shown you can do fantastic models for a cheaper price. For the price of the Bachmann Dancehall Brake Van, which is the same size, just 25 tons instead of 20, you could probably buy 2 of these or 1 of these and some rolling stock to go with it. So Hornby's £25 for me is a good price. Some people might say it's a little bit expensive, but I'm sure if you shop around, you can get it for a lot cheaper than that. This, like I said, this is a modern day one. It has metal buffers, it has an M pocket, it has NEM couplers. It does couple easy to older models, as you can see there with the mainline, I think it's a 3-plank or 2-plank LMS wagon. It doesn't derail, it ran smoothly, there's no warping or bobbling. The handrails didn't actually pop off like they did on my Dancehall Brake Van from Bachmann. I know Hornby have tooled up different variants of this brake van. So for me, if I'm an LMS fan or someone who collects brake vans like myself, these are a good deal at £13 or even at Hornby's price if you're willing to pay the 25. So for me, it's a thumbs up like most things. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you've got any comments, please leave them down below and I will see you in the next one. Please take care and goodbye.